should arrest David Shearer. No need to say that.
Order. The member's time has expired. Moana Maki.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Well, if Mr Hanari really cares about the starving children in this country, he could give back the massive tax cut that he gave himself, tax cuts that overwhelmingly went to people who needed them the least. So cry me a river, Mr Hanari, about how much the National Party cares about poor children, because your record speaks otherwise. Mr Speaker, I want to talk about the incredible announcement that was made by the Labor Party over a couple of weeks ago regarding NZ Power, a real game shifter in terms of how the electricity market will operate in New Zealand in the future. And I want to know why the National Party don't want households to have cheaper power, don't want businesses to have cheaper power, and why they continue to defend a market which is not competitive. And does anyone in this country really believe that we have competition in our electricity market? Well, the Minister of Energy says that he believes that we do. Well, I can tell you the voters in this country don't, because they are sick and tired of the rorting of the electricity system and the fact that it's the struggling New Zealand consumer that is constantly having to pick up the cost of ever-increasing power bills. We have a surplus of generation at the moment. We have flattening demand for electricity. We have a collapsed carbon price. And yet every single household in this country saw their power go up on the 1st of April this year. And the Chief Executive of Contact indicated that further price increases were on the way. If at a time of surplus generation, flattening demand and a collapsed carbon price, we don't see power bills go down, what will it take? I tell you what it will take. It will take a Labor-led government to ensure that the market operates fairly for New Zealand consumers. And I was astonished at the hysterical overreaction that came from government. And it's a hysterical overreaction that's continued to this day, because we still have not actually heard any kind of logical argument from government as to why what Labor and the Greens are proposing would not work. We haven't had any debate on the substance of the policy. All we've had is over-the-top rhetoric that this is like the Soviet Union. Well, it's not actually. It's like the United States of America. And I wasn't aware the United States of America was now considered a communist country. This is a system that operates around the world. And this is a system which will ensure that in the retail market we have innovation and increased competition, real competition. Because our proposal is not to regulate the retail market, as the government is trying to claim, but we will see more competition. We will see more players able to offer newer products, newer options to consumers, because they are not going to be shut out in the way that they are now by the four big players, the gentailers, in the electricity market. And what that means is a reduction in power bills in the order of hundreds of dollars for the average household. It also means a reduction in power bills for businesses, particularly small and medium businesses that don't have the negotiating power that some of our very big energy-using companies do. Explaining is losing, says Colin King. Well, we'd like to have the debate with your government, Mr King, because I can say hysterical overreaction and misrepresentation is definitely losing, Mr King, and that's exactly what your government has been doing, flat-footed over this policy, because National says that New Zealanders are paying a fair price for their power bills. They don't think that in a time of recession, of flattening demand and of surplus generation, that power bills should go down. They're quite happy to see them continue to go upwards and upwards. And what do they say is the one big thing they've done? The What's My Number campaign. Well, I'd like to live in the world the National Party lives in, where they don't see the people coming through their offices every day who are lucky if they can find one power company to take them on. The idea that they have a choice of power companies, given their credit history, because they can't afford their bills, is ludicrous. And it shows the kind of la-la, entitled land that the National Party lives in. Early payment discounts only matter or only work if you can actually pay your bill, Mr King. And for too long in this country, it's been the poorest families that have not had any benefit from any of the measures that governments with the best of intentions have tried to put in place. Well, I want to ask a simple question of the National Party. Do they think that the Labor Party was wrong in regulating lines companies? Silence. 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 Because I tell you this, Mr Speaker, We regulated them because they are monopolies. Well, if you act like a monopoly, you can expect to be treated like a monopoly. If you exhibit monopolistic behaviour, which is what's happened in this country, then the government should step in and regulate to ensure that New Zealand consumers and businesses are getting a fair deal, and under a Labour government they will.
Dr. Cam Calder.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This government has delivered a GDP